Hey there, and welcome to a retrospective of one of my favorite horror series of all time, and that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to go through them all. And we're going to start with the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A favorite of mine, of course, that's by Mr. Hooper himself, who directed this incredible film. We got to see Gunnar Hansen playing Leatherface. We've got Marilyn Burns in this film. Just so many good actors in this. They didn't have a lot of money making the film, and it made the film look more realistic. It's a creepy horror film, and to put it the best way, I think when Gunnar Hansen said it the most, is what annoys him the most is when people look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they say, oh, it's like about the degradation of the American family, or it's about Vietnam, or it's about all this crap. No, it's not. It's a horror movie, and it's a good one, and it's scary. That's it. It's from the words of Leatherface himself. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a scary movie. That's what Tobe Hooper meant when he was doing the film. He wanted to make a movie that would scare you. Didn't have a lot of money, and he thought it would be fun. He wanted Leatherface to be kind of like this, a sympathetic character, which it's kind of hard to understand now, but when you watch back the original Texas Chainsaw, again, you can kind of see Leatherface is a bullied character. Is a very sympathetic character in the film, and they go to his territory, and he defends it, and he does it to extremes because Leatherface is a mentally ill character. That's kind of what he is. That's the way that Tobe Hooper had meant him to be. He wasn't meant to be some monster that like a Jason or a Freddy that was just getting overjoyed at killing. It was kind of what he did. He was part of the family. He was the bullied member of the family. He was a slow member, and the idea behind Leatherface was that these people came into his territory. He defends himself, and it goes from there. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's what the whole concept of the film is. The family is one crazy ass family, and it's a thrill ride. It's horrific. It's intense. It's terrifying. The cinematography in the first Texas Chainsaw film is so brilliantly shot. The close-ups on Marilyn Burns during the scenes where they're having dinner are amazing. The way Leatherface changes his mask to this kind of the woman of the house type mask, because it's obvious at this point that Leatherface has no discernible identity outside of the masks that he wears. It's just a very it's a very cool, unique concept in horror, and it was so well done. It was so well shot at the time. Like I said, I love the film, and I thought there's no way that they can top this. And for me, it's a benchmark in horror. It's one of the scariest horror films of all time, and definitely one of the most realistically done films. And that works so well because the budget was so low. They had to deal with a lot of practical effects, a lot of stuff that happens, and they go with it. And I love that aspect of the film. The hitchhiker, played by Ed O'Neill in the first movie, is an incredible character. Just so weird, so out there. You got to wonder when you're watching the movie, though, why the hell did they pick up a guy like this? It's not like it's the good-looking guy or something like that. He is weird right from the second that they see him, and they pick him up anyway. But it's one of the joys of the film. Now, let's get right into Part 2. Part 2 is a fun film, and like Sam Raimi did with Evil Dead 2, when he realized you're not going to make it scarier, so you might as well make it wackier and funnier and just kind of lampoon yourself. That's what he did with Part 2. Heck, Part 2 even went as far as taking the poster from The Breakfast Club and satirizing it by using the characters from the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 in the exact same poses as the characters from The Breakfast Club. Just a little funny aside there, and it's a well-known thing. It was well-known at the time, and it's a very comical movie. You find out there's chili cooking competitions that they go for. We meet some new characters in this one. We get Chop Top. Chop Top is one of my favorites. Love Bill Moseley, and it's just a fun movie. Of course, we don't have Gunnar at this time. We have another Leatherface, and there were issues behind the scenes about people thinking at the time that they weren't getting paid what they should get paid, and a lot of it came out later that Hooper actually wasn't getting paid what he should have got paid either. He made some bad deals, and he didn't get the money that he was supposed to get. And well, over the years, I think things were worked out, but at the time, it caused some friction. Of course, we got the cook as well. I'm not sure if Jim Siddell played the cook in the second one right now or not. It's been a while since I've seen it. I got to rewatch it. I want to rewatch them all soon, but I just finished watching some of the features on the new one, and the reverence that Tobe Hooper and that Gunner and Bill Moseley give to the new Texas Chainsaw is amazing, and how much they had to do with it. It was incredible. Now, Part 3 was done by Jeff Burr. A lot of people don't like Part 3. We get to see them like bring in another actor. We got Ken Foree in Part 3. And, of course, Ken Foree, we all know from Dawn of the Dead, which is the movie that he's mostly famous for. Now, I loved Part 3. I thought it was just really cool. I heard that the guy that played Leatherface in that one wasn't actually the nicest. Was that the one? One of them wasn't the nicest guy in real life, but I just love that film. I love the way the mask was done. I love the oversized Saw's family. I like the aspects of it. And the bad guy in Part 3. Honey, was that Viggo Mortensen, right? Leatherface? It's Viggo Mortensen, isn't it? Yeah. And the Hitchhiker in Part 3 is one that you can actually see somebody picking up. It's Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen's not a bad looking...
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
Yeah, you did see that one.
Roadkill.
What?
Starts with the roadkill.
Starts with Roadkill.
Yeah.
Well, they all start with Roadkill.
Oh, did they?
Except for the new one.
Okay.
But I don't think it does it? But there's a huge oversized Saw. And we also see, if you look really closely in Part 3, you'll see the actor, one of the actresses from Part 2, with a little cameo. So you got to watch really closely. And you see the lead actress from Part 2 actually showing up in Part 3. Part 3 is fun that way. There's a lot of asides to other films. It's a really cool one. I really enjoyed it. And now let's get to the next generation. This was a Doom film. Texas Chainsaw and Massacre: The Next Generation was done by Kim Henkel. Kim Henkel co-wrote the original Texas Chainsaw film. So a lot of people went into this one with very, very high hopes. Now, unfortunately, two of the actors that were in the film became huge stars around the time that this movie came out. And those actors, of course, are Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey. Now, they became such big stars that their agents stopped the movie from coming out and actually had scenes taken out of the film. And it's a shame. It's not a good film by any stretch of the imagination, but aspects of it are fun. Matthew McConaughey's character with the busted leg and the remote control for his thing is hilarious. I just mentioned it, and my better half is kind of like giggles over in the other side of the room. Renee Zellweger's Renee Zellweger. She is what she does. There's this real estate agent type of girl, and there's just some... It's a funny movie. The ending makes absolutely no sense at all. The guy coming along in the chauffeured limousine with the messed up chest. Do you know what real fear is? But I can see where they're going with it. I don't think they knew exactly where to go with the film. I think some cuts were enforced in the film by outside sources that were going to make a bad film even worse than it already was. But for what it is, it was a fun film to watch. And for the longest time, the only way you could get the uncut thing was here in Canada, actually. Now I think you can get it anywhere, but at the time, I remember picking it up and being like so amazed that you could actually buy it because it was so hard to get. Now let's get to the new films. Jessica Biel in the new 2000s Texas Chainsaw remake. It was well shot because, well, we had the same director of cinematography as we had from the original film, and I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it was. thought it was well done. There's different camps to this one. Some people don't like the sympatheticness of Leatherface, which I don't really get, because Leatherface was supposed to be sympathetic right from the get-go. So when people use the, hey, don't humanize the monster, or don't show him being bullied and stuff like that, or whatever, that doesn't cut, it just doesn't cut water. It doesn't tread water, it doesn't work. It's not an argument. The film, I thought, did a pretty good job. There's some shot-for-shots in the film, Jessica Biel, of course, and the Marilyn Burns scene, stuff like that. But overall, I liked it. It was unique in the way that they took the film at the ending. I wasn't too keen on them cutting off Leatherface's arm. That didn't fly with me. So I was really glad that that was going to be retconned when the new one came out. Now, then we get to part the prequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning was a darker film, and I had to see it at the time because my movie crush, Jordana Brewster, is starring in Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. Now she's on Dallas, and she's kind of like a younger, better-looking Demi Moore. If you've ever seen Jordana Brewster and you've seen a young Demi Moore, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But the thing about the movie is, you know how this is going to end because you know where this family is going. It's a dark film, almost a very nihilistic film. You actually get to see where Leatherface gets his original mask at, which is extremely cool. I like that sequence. I didn't see it coming, and I probably should have, but it was a really cool sequence. And I've got to say, I love the film. And now we're going to get to the latest one. And out of all the sequels, this has to be my favorite, because it's the one that goes most with the original film. We have them basically do a reshoot of the ending of the last film with some extra sequences added on. We get to see scenes from the original film come out in 3D. We see Leatherface basically finally portrayed the way that Hooper wanted him portrayed again for the first time. We see the actors from the original film, people that have been around since part 1. Just some really, really great quality stuff. I'm going to spend a lot more time reviewing part 3D down the road, because I want to watch it and watch with all the commentaries and do a thorough review on that Blu-ray, because I think it's one of the top Blu-rays that came out this year, just for features alone. Even if you didn't like the film, if you're a fan of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, you cannot not have this movie in your collection. There's just so much great stuff there. I'm going to thank you guys for watching. Right now I'm going to go check on my French fries, which I'm making late at night or early in the morning, whichever way you want to call it. But again, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the retrospective. And for me right now, it is time for tea.